Hello everybody, my name is Richard Vigorelli and this is Vigorelli Institute. I did a movie review and I recently just reviewed Blood Ruth 1. Go ahead and check that video out. Rippaverse is awesome, by the way. Skadoosh. So, I just reviewed 40 Days and 40 Nights. Now, why would I do this, especially since I'm not a Christian? Well, it actually comes back to my youth, really. See, this movie came out, this will tell you how old I am, the spring I graduated from high school. This came out in '02. This is 13 years old almost. Actually, it is 13 years old. This came out March 1st. Today is March 2nd as I'm recording this. Holy crap, I'm old. Anyway, let's get into it. So, this is about a guy. He lives in San Francisco. Get more on that later. And he has got this smoking hot blonde girlfriend. She's pretty, she's funny, bit of a tart. And she dumps him. Well, he's a little bit hard up on her, and he finds himself pouring his sorrows into basically any random chick that will have him. Like, this guy gets smacked in the head by a door and a girl offers to do him. Classy! So, he's got a brother who is studying to be a priest. This guy's, I want to say mid-20s. He's clearly out of college, working as a professional. He works like in graphic design. This is still the early days of the internet. Working at a firm in San Francisco. Okay, basically everybody there is in their 20s. They're all single, and apparently it's a relationship free for all there, from what I can gather. Oh dear Lord, things were different 20 years ago. More than 13, 23, dear God, I'm old. Moving on. So, in this movie, he's very brokenhearted, and he's realizing that he is using pleasurable company in order to escape an addiction that he's got. That addiction is sex. Okay? Because he cannot stop. So, Lent starts off right at the beginning of the movie, give or take, and the priest that runs his parish, by the way, he's Catholic. I know. Never see that nowadays. The priest says, you know, the hardest thing you can ever do is give up something that you love, okay? And the priest gives up his vice of these cookies that are dipped in coffee. He loves them, but, you know, for the whole 40 days, 40 nights thing, give or take a month and a half, it's a no, okay? He says, yeah, it's going to be rough, but I can do it. So he says, all right, then I'm going full-on celibate. I will not touch, I will not taste, nothing. Full-on celibacy, okay? And his brother tells him, you're not going to make it, okay? So, good old Josh here, boom, walks out of the church, and the sun is shining upon him. He has everything's bright and colorful. He's basically been blessed by God. So he gets moving along, and his roommate comes over and says, hey, I'm going to go to the, I've got some time with these two girls. They're here on a trip, and one of them really, really wants to see you. Okay, they're only here tonight, so do it while you can. Meanwhile, our buddy is building a model car. Okay? He has gone through the apartment, gotten rid of all of the corn, paraphernalia, you name it. cleaned up all of the bits and bobs that could offend and trick him into breaking his vow. Well, roommate, of course, doesn't like this, but yeah, whatever. And he tells him, why don't you want to come hang out? And he said, because I'm giving it up for Lent. And he says, that's ridiculous. It's a sin against nature. Okay? Men are hardwired to go after it. You have to. And he says, no, I don't. Okay? So his roommate decides that he's going to tell everybody he works with, and they're going to start a betting pool because classy. And they're basically trying to trick him into doing this as much as possible. They attempt to drug him. This one chick at the office basically hits on him, offers to do stuff with him. Yeah, that's not a walking HR problem at all. She's showing off things. Super duper classy. Okay? So, he's tempted. He's going, stay away from me, vile temptress, and runs off. So, he goes to do his laundry. And there's this super duper cute girl right here. They chat every so often, or not, just kind of see each other, and, you don't. So, they eventually strike up a conversation, and they kind of sort of start dating. Well, she works as a thing back then called a net nanny. This is before we had AI and other stuff. People would actually be employed by ISPs, by other programs, and so forth to look for sensitive content on the internet and block it. Okay? So that, little Timmy can't see naughty things. Good for them. Anyway, it did ultimately fail, mind you, but, we tried. Anyway, his friends at work decide to create a website around this, and it just filters out into the internet, and the internet always wins. So she eventually sees it and asks him, are you some kind of weirdo pervert or something? He's going, no, this is all about spiritual stuff. She's like, yeah, right. I saw the website, blah, blah, blah. He's like, it's not me. So he convinces her that they can, hang out and whatnot. Meanwhile, he is acting like a junkie. Okay? Cold sweats, the shakes, pale face, bloodshot eyes, the whole thing, because his mind and body are so used to the act, and he's now just gone cold turkey. Okay? And everybody is torturing him, saying, you'll never make it and all of this. His roommate is desperate to trick him into getting with someone, etc., etc. Okay? Now, in the course of all this, he has found out that the hot blonde that he was dating is now engaged, and, yeah, he's not a good guy, her now fiancé. So, through all of this, he is starting to spawn a movement where people are voluntarily going celibate in various ways. His boss even decides to get in on it, and because his boss is just unlikable to his wife, that's a mess. Don't worry, we'll talk about it. Now, as it progresses, he gets closer and closer and closer. He starts hallucinating. Seeing everything everywhere. His brother slips up, starts making out with a nun who's about his age, and he said, yeah, I'm slipping, I'm leaving the seminary so I can sort myself out. Brother was kind of a jerk anyway. Terrible priest. I've met priests. I'm actually friends with a couple of them. Oh, dear Lord. Yeah, he'd have been booted instantly, even in San Francisco in '02. So, we get down to the wire, and his ex has broken up with her fiancé because he was cheating on her, and she comes over looking for solace, and our boy rejects her. And he yells at her, and he said, "You destroyed me, and I'm stronger now. I don't need you. Get out, vile temptress." Well, this interestingly turns her on, and she is like desperate now to get with him. So he has his roommate chain him to his bed, leave the door ajar. He's not in his right frame of mind, and his new girlfriend is supposed to come over and break with him. His ex sneaks in. He's passed out in a fever dream, and well, let's just say grapes make wine. Yeah, he can't say yes. We have a word for that. So, she leaves right before the stroke of midnight. His new girlfriend is upset, and he's going like, "I didn't know." She doesn't believe him. Seriously, this chick is high-strung. Eventually, they make up, and they officially start, yada, yada, yada. His friends are still betting, when, what's going to happen with this new relationship, when are they going to stop, etc. So that's the plot synopsis, okay? Hopefully YouTube won't get mad at me. Now, here's the thing about this, okay? This movie came out in 2002, okay? 23 years ago. It's right at the start of what is called third wave feminism. One of the tenets of third wave, as I understand it, I could be wrong, feel free to let me know in the comments, is that men are all slaves unto their urges. We're basically animals that can talk. If it's offered, we have to go after it, and we have no will of our own. It's a bit sexist, don't you think? Also, basically, from what I can tell, everybody in San Francisco is a vile degenerate. Yeah, it's a bit on brand, I'd say. I'm just saying, okay, that everything in San Francisco is all quick, dirty, may as well do it because life is too short, and why should we have any kind of stability whatsoever? He picked one of the worst cities to do this in, okay? If he was even in Nashville, same year, would have been a breeze. Damn near certain of it, okay? But he picked a modern degenerate hole like San Francisco to do this in. Technically speaking, he made it through because he didn't do it, it was taken. Okay? He actually did not voluntarily do anything until a couple of days after his Lent fast was over. He voluntarily kissed the girl and started their relationship. Okay? And I will say this, okay? If you're trying to do something to make yourself better, and your friends, your roommate, your family members are saying, "You'll never do it, you'll fail," these are not good people. Cut them out of your life. Okay? If you are trying to grow, be it physically, be it spiritually, intellectually, emotionally, and you are not getting support from the people in your life, the people that are supposed to be there to support you, you need to find new people. If you have to, become a hermit. Okay? If they are constantly pushing you into this lower lifestyle, for example, let's say you're tired of eating junk food and you decide, you know what, I'm going to eat 100% clean. Every single one of your friends is saying, hey dude, let's go grab a greasy burger over here that isn't actually made out of real food, and you're telling them no, and they get mad at you and make fun of you and all that. Get new friends. Okay? Just the way it is. Now, I have to get going now, so thank you very much. Go ahead and check this one out if you want. Pretty decent bit of comedy. Link is in the description for my website, vimandvigorelli.com, and go ahead and follow me on Twitter. Handle is in the description. I will be back later with something else. You take care now. Bye-bye.